welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful dress without sewing patterns. So if you want to see how, then keep on watching. The first thing I will do is create the sewing patterns. So if you remember this dress, I actually altered it last week and I really like how the bodice fits. So I am going to clone it. This is a great sewing tip if you don't know how to make your own sewing pattern or you just don't want to buy. And yeah, because they can be expensive. So this is a great way to create your own sewing pattern is just trace out your favorite dress. If you are curious of what type of paper I am using, this is actually a parchment paper that I grabbed in the kitchen. The next step is adding seam allowances, and here I'm tracing it to another piece of paper. This is actually a postal paper that I got at the painting section, and they're very affordable and very durable. I added 1/2 inch seam allowances on all sides except for the fold and the princess seams. So the princess seams I only did 3/8 of an inch. The reason being is when we piece it together later on, if you have more fabric on there, it's going to be a little tricky to match it up. So just less seam allowance is perfect. I had been doing this pattern hacks in a long time and it worked every time. Sometimes it doesn't really match up. That's why it's important to add enough seam allowances so you can adjust it accordingly. These are the completed sewing patterns. Next, I'm going to trace out the skirt pattern. So I grab a dress that fits me really well. Trace it, and this is going to be on fold. This is the front skirt, and I added enough seam allowances on the side. The back skirt, and I added 1 inch at the back seam for the zipper, and then I added extra seam allowance on the side seams. You just want to make sure that the waistline of the skirt and the bodice are matched perfectly. And these are all the details. So I have the back bodices, the front and the side front. I was gonna do a neck facing at the back, but I didn't use it. I decided to use a different method to finish the neckline. And this is the front skirt panel and the back skirt panels. And now it's sew time. It's my favorite part ever. So first I am going to match the side front to the center front along the princess seam. I like to pin the edges first and then just kind of smooth it out. Naturally, this is like on curves, so the fabrics are going to want to separate from each other. So you are just going to follow along that curve without stretching the edges. Then I repeated the same thing to the other side seam. Are still with me, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to do so because I will be posting a lot more sewing tutorials in the coming weeks. If you are watching from my Facebook page, Sew Aldo, don't forget to follow, likes, and share. I will really appreciate that. If you want to interact with me in real time, be sure to follow my Facebook page. I am very active on there. And don't forget to backstitch so the threads are not going to unravel. And as you get to the curve, you are just going to take it slow. Make sure you guide your fabric because this is on curve and smooth out the wrinkles. You don't want to sew over wrinkles. Look at that princess seam. Isn't it gorgeous? Next, it's time to match the back bodice. So I match the right sides of the fabrics and I'm going to stitch along the side seams and the shoulders. I also press the seams open, and I also finish all the raw edges with my overlocker. It's time to work on the skirt, so I match the side seams and stitch along the edge. So this is pretty straightforward, very simple. If you want to, you can add pockets, but honestly, I don't like pockets on my dresses. Find the center front of the bodice and the waistline and match it. And then I'm just going to stitch along the edge. Let's chit chat a little bit. So I decided to jazz up my fall wardrobe. Honestly, I don't have any cute clothing pieces for fall and winter just because I don't dress up on those seasons. Usually just wearing my black denim skirt and sweater. But this year I decided I'm going to put a little more effort to it. After that, it's time to add the zipper. I have a full tutorial on how to do this exactly. I'm just going to post the link in the description box below or the comment section below. Now I am going to close the back seam. And look how gorgeous the back seam is. It's perfection. Next, it's time to finish the neckline. So I am using a bias binding. I am basically just wrapping it along the neckline, and I'm going to stretch the bias tape as I sew. That's going to ensure that the neckline is going to be close to your body as opposed to sticking out or gaping. Finish the arm side the same way I did with the neckline. I'm just going to be wrapping it and stitch it all the way around. It's looking fantastic already, and I decided to add a thin belt along the waistline to just give it some extra detail. And this is the final dress. My original vision for this dress doesn't include bias tape or bias binding, but when I tried it on, I absolutely hated it. I thought it looked matronly and boring, so I decided to ask you guys, my awesome followers, and you gave me this idea, and I managed to salvage this dress, and thank you so much for that. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up and share this if you could. I will really, really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!